CSV file and connecting to Excel file, it is more or less same, not much difference.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and also we discussed about how to change the data type. It's all very simple one. These steps are right in Power BI. It is like Excel, even Excel, I don't think so we can change the data type and all, but in Power BI we can change the data type, and we can easily replace the values wherever the null values, errors we find there, we can replace it. And also based on some condition also we can replace the values. Since Power BI, the interface, the Power Query editor interface has few options as part of replace itself, we can leverage them. For example, here in this case, but something which is not available, right? So then we have to go out of the box and we need to do it. For example, let me just yeah, we will use this one itself. So this is the model. Yeah, this is the one. For example, we discussed about, one second, sales W04, right? Here we have order date and order ID. Good that it is already in date format. Yes, we changed it to date format. Fine. Okay, I'll go to the home ribbon and transform data. So this is what the Power Query editor. It will take some time for you to be familiar with these menu items and all. Okay, don't worry, just click transform. Currently we are in Power Query editor. So select transform menu ribbon, and when you look here, for example, this is the one. ABC is a segment, and order date, everything is in proper date format except ship date. Okay, and ship date is in which data type? Text data type, ABC. I just right click on this, and we have something called lowercase, uppercase, all the things are available. For example, I was about to tell this one. Where is the replace values? Yes, this is the one. So values to find. For example, in this case, we have hyphen is there. I want to replace all the hyphens by forward slash. This is what we have seen it yesterday in the date column, in the order date. Match entire cell content, replace using special characters. Okay, this is one option. These are the two options are available. One second. I'll just I'll just disable this one, column profile. Okay. Replace errors. Yeah, so yeah, we have seen it here, right? I was talking about split column. So split column, we have three options are available by delimiter. So in this case, what is the delimiter? The forward slash and hyphen. Okay, and by number of characters. Okay, once as far left as possible, once as far right as possible, repeatedly. Columns, or you want to split into columns or rows, number of columns to split into. Okay, how many number of columns that you wanted to create it. Okay, and here so in this case we already have the delimiter. What he says is specify the number of cases you split the text column. So here if I say number of characters 2, what will happen is the 7 and forward slash will get splitted. Okay, number of columns, let's say we wanted to say 2. See 7 and forward slash, right? Here we cannot specify the column based on the number of characters. We cannot split this column because it is not consistently the months have been specified. Had they mentioned something like, one second, I'm going to revoke this. Had they mentioned something like here, okay, not this one, sorry, split column. Okay, number of characters is not going to be helpful here because we cannot, if I say specify, right, two columns, first two column is selected, or last two or last four values is selected, and then move it to somewhere else, right, to create another column, and you are left, you are going to have only these three, four, five items, right? So once you move this one to another column 2012, we are left with 2 4 5 letters, right, 5 characters here, and again you need to use, multiple times you need to do it, right? It involves too much of time to do this one, but in this case we are using delimiter, at least number of see, look here, the positions also same as the number of characters. One second, specify the position to at which, right, 0 2 4 5, but here it says randomly, right? So 0 2, for example, second position 1 2, second position, and third 4 5, so 2 5, if you specify, that is enough, 2 5. This is one way of selecting it, but here 1 2, but here 1 2 3, so 1 2 3, third place we have this one. Hence you cannot use split the column by positions. Okay, advanced options, you have some rows also. You want to split the column by split into columns or rows, right? We don't want this one to be done. We don't, it's not helpful in our case. And here split column by lowercase to uppercase to, by digit to non-digit, and non-digit to digit. So digit to non-digit, right? So non-character, this is like a text type. So digit number to text, and but if you have the alpha numeric value, what is alpha numeric value? For example, 1 2 Raja. So this is alpha numeric because alpha is Raja and 1 2 is numeric value. So the combination of both you have to in your text type. You cannot convert that as a digit, though he says non-digit to digit, right? Again it has some limitations. Okay, we cannot convert the alpha. I'll just show you here. For example, you have something like this, 12 Raja. This is a text type. Anything inside the parenthesis or anything inside the double quote, this is called double quote. Okay, anything inside this is your text type, or some people they call it a character, in some programming language they call it as a character, and some other language it is called as a string data type. All these three things refers the same thing, but it varies from, only difference is different language they use different naming convention, okay, or the terminologies, we can say different terms they use it for the same data type in different languages. All right, so here, okay, I have something like this. What is this? Is this a number data type or string data type? This is a text data only, because we have embedded. What do you mean by embedded? This 12 surrounded by two double quotes. Any value surrounded by double quotes, that means that's a text data type. Remember this. But in this, though it is a text data type, right? Text data type, here the values are, if you look at the values, it is in number type only, right? 1 2. It is not having the combination of both the typical string and the number value. This is called alphanumeric. They call it alphanumeric value. this is not a data type, so they will not say no alphanumeric data type. They use this term, common term, alphanumeric value. From the layman point of view to understand, they use this term alphanumeric value. But end of the day, this is also text, this is also text. Why? Because these two text we have embedded with double quote. Simply if you say 1, 2, it is a number type. It is a whole number. If you say 12.0, also called as decimal number, because it has some decimal value. You can also have like this. Even if you have like this is a decimal number. This is the whole number, and this is the text data type. Even this is also text data type. But you can convert this text value into digit number type, because inside the string, right, we have only the 1, 2 value is there, the number value is there, but here we have number value along with some text value is there. Hence you cannot convert 1 to Raja as a numeric value. Understood? Is it clear? So that is what the split column was telling. Though split column tells us that when that is what it says. And also we discussed yesterday this one, the country and see, we found in one case country and state were concatenated together. Let us assume that when we work in a real-time project, the customer gives us the data like that. So all the columns are fine, but only one column we need to split it. For example, you have something like country and state values mentioned in a single column. But the challenge is the country name itself has blank space between the country name. Right? Country name is not a single word. In some country, it is a single word. For example, India, it's a single word. United States, it's a two word. These two words were separated by blank space. And on top, the states also, the state name also separated by blank space. That kind of situation, you cannot use split, right? So you cannot use split, and it is very dynamic. You have to write your own program to split that one. So what logic you can use it? You cannot use it, but okay. Anyhow, let me open that file also. I have used retail sales, right, yesterday. So the data transformation is also, the biggest headache for all the data analysts, including data scientists, because that is where we spend a hell lot of time. But when you look at all the YouTube videos or Google articles related to Power BI, technical blogs, you will find Excel files, even the demo files also, right? Maybe maximum 5 or 6 tables they'll be using it. But in real time, again, these 6 or 7 tables also having limited number of records. But in real time, we are dealing with huge volume of data. Data transformation is the biggest challenge, right? Sometimes you cannot rely completely. For that, I will show you what challenge yesterday you remember, we were posing that challenge. Retail sales .csv. At least it loads, in a matter of 15 to 30 seconds or 30 to at least 1 minute. it takes to load the data here. But in real time, when you start import a file data, right, it takes half an hour, 1 hour time. You can take a nap and then set some alarm once the data gets loaded. See, even for this 25,000 records, again it is working on it. It takes some time, right? You cannot expect the real-time data, even the development data will get loaded this faster. So 1 second, let me just select retail sales. This is what we are looking at it. I think I changed it. Okay, so this is not the one. How many of you remember the file which I used it? Yesterday the file name, yeah, file name got changed. Let me do one thing. I just go here and first we will check here and then we will load it, because the loading takes a lot of time. And retail sales, this is the one we tried 1312. City.csv, sales.csv. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just open this. How many of you remember yesterday's scenario which I discussed it? So those of you missed out yesterday's session in set. Okay, here what I do is I just go ahead and use something like is equivalent to city. In Excel, how do you concatenate the two column values? You can say, sorry, here this time city state is a overkill. What I am going to do is I am going to create country and state. Here I am going to say is equivalent to, but in real time you will get some kind of strange format of the data like this. Yes, so we have used columns from examples. Create columns from examples. Retail sales we used, yes, but retail sales we did not see this one, right? So United space state space new space your. In that case, what logic we can use it? Somewhere it is it is in the country name itself we could see a blank space, and even in the state name also we could see a blank space here. But here Australia is a country name, single word, but the state name has two blank spaces within it. So this is a quite challenging one. In that kind of situation, do you think we can use this one to do it? Let me do one thing. I'll just save this one. Save. And I will just go back here. Okay, you want to save it? Don't save. Okay. You can use CSV. For CSV file, you can open it with Excel or CSV also.
Recording in progress.
So yesterday we tried with this one. We tried with the column from examples. My share screen was mistakenly selected that one. Country state, right? So this is what the problem we posted. From selection only for this column, when I selected this one, we were able to get this one. One option could be like I said yesterday, United States. You just type it and then leave it to extract only the country name here. But if you scroll down here, you can see United States. See, I just typed only once. The system got trained. It learned, oh, okay, I need to extract only the United States, though it has space in between. Whenever I see the data like this, I need to consider these two words, especially in the case of United States. Look here, when you look at United States, when it extracted. It's kind of artificial intelligence kind of thing. And you can see something like this: text before delimiter, text lower, country, state, comma, blank space, comma 1. Right? Blank space, country, state in this column, blank space, comma 1. Right? See, it automatically generates the script. So here, when it comes to this one, Australia is, when I type here, not you don't consider these two things. See, just because I type two words, it started identifying two words, as a single country name. I just selected it now. When it comes to Australia, you need to use single word to identify it, but still it considers United States correctly. But still some issue is there. But you need to keep training it like a kid. How we train it multiple times. This yesterday itself I covered, and don't think I'm boring you by telling the same thing. So look here. Here, like human, even this one also making the mistake. Not United States to United States. I just changed it, and in the next line it automatically extracted United States only. So Australia, I put it here only. Australia got extracted here. And similarly, United States. Look here, I did not do anything here. I trained something like training a machine learning model or training a kid. Once you train a kid, when you find these two letters, United States, and in between these two words, if you find blank space, especially in United States, you need to extract only United States, not the entire value. Okay, so that is what, when you tell someone to extract only, so manually when you let's say you give a paper to someone and you ask him to extract only United States, what you will do, you write him United States, wherever you find United States, you need to write United States. The same way we are training the Power BI engine. Okay, but here what happens is, you can look at this script also. Query style none, and country state split, country state equal to splitter dot split text by delimiter, something like that, right? So it is doing like this. It automatically generates the M language. So you enter sample values to create a new column. Control plus enter to apply. Now the question is, if I have millions of records, you might be having millions of records, but when it comes to country, the maximum you might be selling your except Walmart and other thing, right? If you are a medium sized company, you don't have issues, you can do it. Otherwise you have to write a program to extract separately these two things. Okay, these are all the small this might appear a trivial issue, but it takes a lot of time to extract separately, because what happens is, the customer, when they send any coupons or when they ship the items to the customers, it should be very clear. The state name, country name should be said. Supposing it was United States new, Australia new, it will get confused. Okay, so that is the reason why you need to extract it accurately, otherwise it will mess up. So, but though it appears a very silly and no, a very insignificant thing, but it's a time-taking process. You need to write some program, and you can do it. Okay, you can use Python yesterday, as I told you, using functional programming, which is there in Python. Just write 4 to 5 lines of code, and you can extract it. Okay, or else you need to, if you are familiar with M code, you need to watch this script and then try to utilize this script to apply to the entire column. Okay, but this is a painful thing because there is no consistency here. Somewhere 1, 2, 3, 4 words are there, somewhere you have only 2 words are there, and somewhere you have like this 1, 2 hyphen and all coming in between. Okay, maybe all these things, hyphen is coming here. There is a different format, different rows, different formats they store, the values are stored here. So best thing is we can ask the customer to give the proper format so that we can extract it. That is the solution as of now. And if they still ask you, then see, nowadays we don't have the luxury. Customer, they say, hey, we don't have people, you need to do everything. If you say it will take additional 3 to 4 hours, we are ready to pay. You need to do it. So that we will say, that's what point I'm trying to make here is, so we thought, okay, the transform is in split column is there, with split they've given 3 different options. With this itself we can do wonders, right? Even this one, these 3 options are not helpful in terms of achieving what we want to try to do, right? What we want to try to do, we cannot do it with these things. There are some limitations because of the inconsistency in the format given by the customer. This is how they give data most of the time. But if you are lucky, you are good. Okay, I'm not saying country state they combine it and give it. There are some other cases they combine these two and they'll give it to you. In that kind of situation, you need to extract separately the text data. Okay, anyhow, we will see how to what DAX functions are available for playing around with the text data. We will see it later. Even with that, I don't think so you can solve this kind of problem. Okay, probably give it a try and see if you are able to write your own logic to extract it. That's well and good. Okay, next what we will do is, today we will see, I'm going to close this one. What I do is I'll go to data model and I just select this one, delete from model. This is the easiest way to remove the tables or data which you imported in your Power BI. Okay, so now we don't have any. Look at the fields. The fields, we don't see any file or data. So what I'm going to do is I'll just show you what are the other sources we can import the data. So we have something called Power BI data sets. For example, I have developed a report here. This is my Power BI desktop. I'll just show you the report okay, let us open this one, or else I'll just go and show you the other one which I already opened it. Yeah, this is the report. Not this one. I think I closed it. Okay, let it be there. So we have another, we know how to use this option to import the data. Okay, and next one is Power BI data sets. What is this? Create a live connection data sets in the Power BI service. What is Power BI service? We discussed about see, once you develop a report, you can publish it on cloud. So you have a button called publish here. When you publish the report or dashboard using this option, so this dashboard will get uploaded or deployed on the cloud. Okay, so for that only I told you to create a login credential on the cloud. One second. Power BI Pro. Okay, so get admin access. Yep, app.powerbi.com. Please try again later. So what is happening? Power BI itself down. Maybe Power BI itself down. 1 second. Let me just check my net connection. Should be good only. Sometimes the net connection breaks for a few seconds or so. Okay, this is down now. I think something wrong from their side. Like WhatsApp went down. Assist account has permission. Okay, let me just check. www.google.com is available. Net connection is yeah. Without net connection, I can't talk to you. But still, I want to see the speed. Yeah, net connection is okay only, not so bad. Net connection is good, and yeah, it is all it's okay even, but it is little bit slow from my side, but it's not that bad. I think this is the Power BI service. Let's try one more time. See Power BI, right? Technical details. Yeah, an unknown error record. If you continue to see this error, please fill the following when requesting support. Okay, something went wrong on the Power BI service side. So what happens here is once you generate the report. For example, I developed a report here. Let's wait for some time. So this is the whole idea of this one. See, the concept here is it is something like this. Let's say you have a Power BI file. So let's say in my case the file name is EX Visualization Part 3, or let's say you have something like retail dashboard .pbix. This is the extension for your Power BI file, whatever you develop it. Look here, this is the one I developed it. So in the here, okay, and this is the one. For this, when I save it, the extension of this file is going to be, let's say, the file name can be anything. In this case, EX Visualization Part 3. But you are not supposed to give like this. You need to specify some meaningful name like this. Retail Sales Dashboard.pbx. PBIX, this is the extension it uses to save the file. Okay, according to us, we just give the name Retail Sales Dashboard, but behind the scene Power BI adds an extension, like this. Okay, .pbx. So in the interview they'll ask you what is the extension of your Power BI report file as part of screening. Okay, so now I developed a report. Let's assume that this file name is sales dashboard.pbx, and we have an option called publish. When you click publish, it will ask the password. So in my case, I have something called support at deep. I think something went wrong from their side. Otherwise, it should. It takes longer time. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is, let's go step by step. See, in step one, okay, what is the objective? What I'm going to talk now? How to import data from Power BI data sets. PBIS, okay, sorry, PB Power BI. They call it a get data. Look here, Power BI data sets. Okay, you know how to import the data from Excel CSV file. That any school student can also do that. Now we go one step further and see how we can import the data from Power BI data sets. First of all, what is Power BI data sets? Power BI data sets, the idea of the Power BI data sets is, once you develop a report, you can publish it on cloud. When you click publish, it will ask the username, password to connect your app.powerbi.com. So this is the one. Unfortunately, it is down. Right? It will get uploaded here. My report, whatever I developed locally in my laptop, it will get deployed on this one. Okay, it will get deployed on app.powerbi.com. Okay, so let's say this one got published there with the name of EX Visualization Part 3. What I am going to do is, let's say you are the senior developer or you are the module lead. You published a report on app.powerbi.com. Okay, so this report has data files, like data models, like sales, this one table and this another table. This is the relationship we used it. But in real time scenario, you will be using 6 or 7 tables at least at the minimum. Okay, 7 to 8 tables you will be using it, and each table will be having a relationship like this link. You can see the link. This is your link. Okay. So once you develop this data model, let's there are 5 developers on a team. There are 5 developers who are working in a specific project, and of the 5 developers, one person is a module lead. He published the dashboard or the report. So both of them are same only. Okay, dashboard or report on BI service, which is nothing but app.powerbi.com. So there you published on some workspace, you created some workspace and they published it there. So this module lead is a senior person. He knows data modeling, everything. He created all the tables, everything. Since already one person developed the required tables and the required relationship between all the tables have been defined correctly in his dashboard, is there any way the same model, that is your data model? So look here, this is what your data model on the screen, whatever is right. This is because we create a relationship. This is a data model. So in this data model, can it be used by remaining 4 developers? See, overall 5 developers were there. Why do they need to again recreate? So all these 4 developers also need the same data. Okay, these 4 developers, right? All 5 developers, including you, are going to work in the same project. But each one of you develop different reports. Though you develop different reports or dashboards, the underlying data is same only. In that case, what you can do is you can reuse the this. This is module lead. Module lead name is module name is Amanda. So Amanda is the module lead. She published the dashboard on what she says is, hey guys, you don't have to import these tables again. Don't waste time. Already it is available in my thing. I published on the cloud. It is available on app.powerbi.com. So you can, what you do is you can pick up the data from my file and then start develop the reports. Don't waste time importing it again. That is what the situation now. Let's say somebody has already published the data there, and we will see if I can, because I don't know. But one drawback with this one is, I'm going to delete these two files. Yes, in one go you can select more than one files. Fine. So now what I'm going to get data, Power BI datasets. Here I'm going to give support at deepneuron.in. You need to have company email ID to create a user ID on app.powerbi.com, otherwise you cannot create it. Let's wait for some time. I think some problem happened from their side. When you do like this, all the tables used in that dashboard will get, you can find it here. All the tables used in that dashboard will be available here. First you need to connect to the cloud, and from there you need to choose the dashboard. Let's say the dashboard created by Amanda, you need to select that one. Okay, and then you need to, when you select and import it, what will happen is you can find all the fields that were related to that specific dashboard will be available here. Once that is available, you are all set to develop the reports. All you need to just go to this one and drag and drop and create visuals, start play around with it. Got it? So that is what we need to do it here. One second, I will just go ahead and close. I thought, and I will be, we are not lucky because we are not able to import, we are not able to access it. I think for the time being, can you guys try it from your side? Can you all try this one, app.powerbi.com? Can someone tell me if you are able to get something there? I know you don't have access. At least can we get the home page? Let me try from my mobile. app.powerbi.com. Sometimes it happens. Okay, in the interest of time, we will skip this one. Why to waste time here? The next one is, one second, let me just, I think something wrong happened because I was trying to buy that license software. I don't know whether it is due to that. Okay, it is not working fine. There is no point in wasting time. So what we will do is we will try to learn something else. Look here, in the interest of time, we will skip the topic and we have something else called datawares. Datawares. So get data. Now it is little bit advanced topic we are talking. Connect to datawares through its SQL endpoint. So I'm going to select datawares. So what is a dataverse? You might be wondering what the hell the dataverse is all about. Okay, dataverse is a cloud-based storage system. Okay, wherein instead of storing files in a local laptop, you can store it on dataverse. It is a cloud, Microsoft's product. Okay, you can use dataverse to store your data on cloud in a very secured manner. Once you store the data, you can access it anytime with the help of the domain name. Okay, I'll just show you here how to connect it there. I just go here, and here what I'm going to do is Power Apps. You have something called powerapps.microsoft.com. Even here also you need to have the registered email ID, I guess. The office email ID. Okay, sign in. I just click sign in. I already created an user ID and password on the powerapps.com site. Let's wait for some time. Oh, okay, thank God it's connecting there. by default it got connected using my previous thing, okay, the support at deepneuron.in. And here what I am going to do is I am going to select database. Already there are some tables are available there, and for example you have something called account, many tables are available, and also the relationship, business rules, everything can see. And at this moment we'll see what all the columns are there. So many columns are there in this account table. Already someone created the tables, set of tables, and you can, when you select data here for the account table, what columns are there, you need to click this one to view the columns, what data is there in that table. So these are the data are available there, okay. And let me just, it's a very big table in the sense so many columns are there. Okay, this is the one, okay. What I am going to do is I am going to select this one, settings. Here you have something called developer resources. Let me see, developer resources, and this is the one is available, okay. Or what I am going to do is Power BI, Power Apps settings, and even this is not helpful. Session details, you can use session details. Look here you can find the URL name, okay. Using this URL name, what I'm going to select this URL, instance URL, remember this, right click, copy, and you go back to your, so here what you need to copy paste that one. I just repeat it. You go to the, once you connect to the powerapps.com, you just type, go to your Google and type powerapps.microsoft.com, okay. That's all right. So it'll, in your case, you need to create a username there. Go ahead and register it. Once you register it, you will be able to see this type of screen, okay. And here select database. When you select database, just click one more time. When you select database, just beneath this you can see all these things, data flows and tables. Select tables, you will find account table and other tables. For the learning purpose, I have selected account table, and we just viewed it, that's all. We did not do anything, okay. And the next step is go on the top right corner, settings, select this, and then what you do is here, session details, instance URL. Instead of selecting this one, you just select this one only, okay. Because you have to remove the HTTPS colon everything in order to connect to this one. So I am going to remove this one here. Click OK. You are not signed in. Look here, it is asking me to do signing. I need to sign in with that one. You are being signed in, please wait, okay. I'm going to use this name, whatever the password, I don't remember it, my god. Okay, so you have something called Microsoft Authenticator app. So you just go to Play Store and install Microsoft Authenticator app, okay. Just type Microsoft Authenticator app in your mobile phone. So in my case I'm using my mobile, so it automatically sends a message to my app for continue with logging into this ones, okay. You are currently signed in, good. So you need to use your mobile phone, the mobile phone Microsoft Authenticator, you need to install it using Play Store, and then click connect. So now I'm able to connect successfully. The next step is connect. Even this one takes longer time. My god. Okay, 1 second. Unable to connect. We encountered a related. The server was not found or not. Microsoft related. Verify the instant name. SQL URL is configured to remote. Could not open a connection to SQL server. Okay, let me do one thing. I see here also you can select a database. It is correct only. Some problem happened there. Or let us give the instance URL directly here. I was able to sign in correctly. See, I approve sign in request. Again, it sends a message to my mobile phone. Microsoft Authenticator support. Yeah, approve. If I give approve from there, in my mobile, it is connecting there. You are currently signed in. Okay, connect. Ideally, you are not supposed to use the URL and all, but with that itself, it is trying to make a connection. Let us see. We tried with Power BI datasets itself. We failed because of connection problem. Their cloud was not available. The second one is I thought of showing database. Even this is not, could not open a connection. Here also some problem happened. Okay, I'll just remove this one and I'll give one more try. So this is the last try, otherwise we will jump into another advanced data set. Okay, so that is called open data connectivity. Using REST API, how we can extract the data. We'll see at least if you are successful with that. Any other sessions open? Yeah, in the meanwhile we will give it a try here. This is part 3 already, it is going on. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll just go here and then I will try the other one now here. See here, I'm going to side by side and then to see that one was not working. I think something wrong with their server. I'm sure it was working fine in locally. The next one is OData feed. OData feed is nothing but open data connectivity. This is called open data connectivity. Here we are not using any Excel file, any database to import the data. We are using some REST API services to import the data. So now let us just type this one, https services.odata.org and OData, I think odata.sec. Still I remember the URL name for OData. So how do we extract the data from external source? Most of the time you will have to access the data on cloud only. Please remember, in your laptop you will not be importing any files. You need to connect to the customer server. Nowadays customer servers are they hosted their server on cloud. Look here, at least this one is working, OData. So this one is, did we import this one from our local? No, right? So all these tables are available on cloud. Using this URL, we connect to the REST API, right? Sorry, this is the REST API, okay? So it is something like, in your company, you created, let's say you have 10 tables. You wanted to expose those 10 tables data using some REST API, okay? That REST API, all we need to just specify the URL name. See, they hosted their data on a cloud. And what they did, with this link URL, right? So what they did, they created an API, right? They created a REST API. Okay, so that REST API, and they create the REST API and expose to the outside world. So in my company, I have hundreds and hundreds of tables are there. But for these tables alone, I created a separate uh, REST API. With this API, you can connect to the tables that are relevant for your analysis. Not all the tables I'll give you access. Okay. For example, I wanted to say I'm going to select whichever table for the product details and suppliers and products, product details, right? So all these things we can select it, and what we do is click load. When you select load, now the data will get loaded into your Power BI memory from the cloud. In simple term, okay, roughly speaking, it is loading it from the external source, not from your laptop, not from your SQL server or MySQL server database, somewhere outside. For this, you need to have the internet connection, and also their API should be up and running from their side also. Thank God, at least O data is working. Look here, 2 rows loaded and 7 rows loaded. The products and supplies got loaded. So now it will take some time to display it here. Look here on the right side, advertisement, categories, persons, product, all these products, whatever, all these sheet data, right, whatever we were trying to import, it all got imported correctly here, but all of them have ID, only not many details. So now you learned how to import the data from OData, Open Data Source Connectivity. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. And blank query I will show you when I explain about the query editor. In the query editor, we can create our own query. We can write our own query in the case of blank query, right? So that I will show it later. And okay, now you understood how to import Power BI datasets. Unfortunately, since that one is down, see, when you try to import the Power BI datasets, you're not supposed to have any other data in your Power BI. Make sure that before you import that, see here I don't have any data. So in that case, if you go and select this one, it will go and connect it there. So I just select this one. Let's give it a try one more time. So enter password. Now in my mobile I got it's something like QR code, okay, or QR code, or we get something, right? For mobile phone also you get this one. Sometimes to access your email ID, it will send some message to confirm if you are the right person is accessing it or not. So now I just got it. Good. Now the server is up and running. Yes, you got it. Look here. This is what where the hell is that? Yeah, so this is the one, right? Power BI, app.powerbi.com. It should work now. Man, I hosted so many things there to give a demo. Everything is gone. That's bad. Power BI error. I don't know what to do now. So okay, so these are the dashboards and reports that I uploaded on the Power BI cloud. Okay. For example, this is the one developed by Amanda. Okay, she is the one developed it. The owner is Amanda. You just think that way. You just select on it. It will get loaded from your Power BI datasets. It is available on your Power BI service cloud. Look here. This is the data file. I used it there. And here also you can see it. Okay. And here simply when you select it here, for example, if you select, drag and drop it, you're all set. So these data I did not imported it. Did I go to get data and import anything? Nothing, right? I simply selected Power BI datasets. See, in this case we have only one dataset. Let's say you have 5 or 10 tables are there. You don't have to import the data locally. Simply you go to your Power BI service which is on cloud and you can import it. Okay, so in the meanwhile, all of you please give it a try in terms of creating a username and password app.powerbi.com, but it is not urgent because they give 45 days only. Even for me today I saw that oddly 5 more days are there for me to access that one. It's a trial version, that's a limited duration only. They give 45 days free trial, and afterwards you need to buy it. And again, buying the Power BI Pro is also not that easy. You need to have the office email ID, and then you need to become an admin. So in your website you need to go and configure the DNS whatever they give it. Okay, it's not that easier, and then you can use it. And still they you need to pay every month $10 per month per user. Okay, you need to pay every month, but on top you need to have all these things. In my case, I have a website. My website, I can specify the DNS, everything. But don't worry, I'll try to create some other IDs for you guys. And also I have shared a link to Lavanya. I'll share the same thing to you all, without using the office email ID, how to create login credentials, right? In app.powerbi.com. I'll send you the video link. You all can go ahead and create the username and password there, so that we will see this one also after we create a simple dashboard how to publish there. Like I was able to download it. Successfully, right? See, when I just click this one, for example, if I go here and if I delete this one, see, you can't even do anything, right? Delete from the model. See, in the previously I was able to delete it. Now you cannot even delete it from your model. Even here also you don't have any option, because you are using somebody else's tables. You don't have any privilege to delete. Okay, you can use this data, but you cannot do anything there. And in fact, you cannot see the data also. See, can you see the data window here? No. Simply you can use visualization to visualize the data. For example, country wise sales, if you want to see it, I just drag and drop it. I can see it. And if you change the visual, instead of bar chart, if I select the table, it shows me the data here. You can see the data here only. Can you see the data view here? No, right? Only 2 icons are available now. Okay, with Power BI datasets. Fine. So anyhow, we will continue tomorrow, because I thought of continuing by till 5:30 today. Because of some other office commitment, I'll have to get into office call. Okay, and what we will do is in the next session we'll show you. In the meanwhile, I'll go and check why app.powerbi was down for me. Okay, I will go ahead and check it, and if that one is available, I will show you in the next session. Okay, but even today afternoon also I was accessing it. Okay, I don't know why it is not available now. Fine, guys, today, to summarize, we have learned how to connect to OData, Open Data Connector, using the OData, which is nothing but the REST API, how to connect to the how to fetch the data from the cloud using REST API. So this kind of a REST API, you need to know the IP address. I'll share the link also. You can also give it a try in your laptop. That link, so OData feed, when you select it, and you need to type or copy paste the link which I send it to you, and click OK. You need to wait for some time. It will take some time to show all these things. Okay, tables and all. You need to select that one, and then click OK. It will get loaded. Click load. When you click load, it will get loaded. That is what we tried. And Power BI datasets, at last I am successful. I demonstrated you how to use Power BI data. Say somebody already developed the dashboard. Already he created the data model, everything. It took a lot of time to identify the columns, entities, and all. He spent a lot of time in creating the data model. Already someone created. So why can't we reuse it? Right? Power BI datasets is kind of a reusability. This is one of the best practice. You can tell them if we have used Power BI datasets instead of using data in Island. most of the cases, what is island? So you know, I can use my data, you use your data, whatever comes to your mind, you cannot use those data, right? Even if that data is available in local system, that you know, you are not supposed to use it. That is not the professional way of doing it. It is not secure. Organization, they already mandated all the data you are supposed to use it from the cloud, not from your local desktop. In that case, and other advantages, we are saving a lot of time. Otherwise, you need to know how many tables are there, what relationships, how many active, inactive relationships. This is a painful thing. Okay, so in that case, already someone developed everything. We are going to reuse it. We can tell them this is the best practice we followed in our project. We did not, we centrally created the data model, and using Power BI datasets, we import it, and it is highly secured. And with that, we are able to create other visuals and everything. Okay, and also we have seen Dataverse. Dataverse was also having some problem. I will also look into that. But actually, that is the procedure to connect and import it. And I know some problem happened there also. I will recheck it. And tomorrow is bit challenging for me. Instead of tomorrow, we will have it day after tomorrow. Okay, and day after tomorrow we will continue more on the transformation part, data transformation. That is the one we'll be spending a lot of time, because in real time scenario, lot of effort we are spending on ETL part, extracting, transforming and loading. That is the one we will see, and then we will continue with some other transformation, right? And gradually we will proceed further with DAX and all. Okay, fine. Any questions so far? Yeah, so the Thursday I will give you assignments. Only when you work on assignments, you will be able to understand whatever I teach, and also there will be some kind of continuation will be there, right? If there is if there are no assignments given, then there will not be any continuity. You will not practice it. Okay, I'll give you assignments, and also if possible we will practice it in day after session, day after tomorrow session itself. Okay, ideally day after tomorrow session we will have theory, and I will give you a demo from my side, plus I will give you some data sets. You need to use those data sets to do data transformation. It's all very simple example only, simple data file. You can play around with it. Gradually you will be able to pick up. Okay, so to conclude, tomorrow no session, day after tomorrow we will be having the session. The meanwhile, you just give it a try. Go to Power Apps and give it a try. All of you, I guess you have Office email ID except Lavanya. Even if you don't have it, I will share you the video, right? So someone already they posted it. I'll share it to you. You just watch that video, and you can create some official email ID using Microsoft.com itself, and then with that you try to log in and log into app.powerbi service, Power BI service cloud. You can access there and just play around with that. Okay, and even Dataverse also, Power Apps. With that ID, you can connect to Power Apps and try to import the account table, and then try to create some visuals. All right, just play around with it in the meanwhile. Okay, this Thursday I want to see all of you have access to Dataverse and Power Apps and Power BI service also. All right, fine. So I'm going to end this session now. Since you don't have any questions, we'll share the video, because I need some time, right? It will take some time to load the video. Don't expect me as soon as the session is over the video. I know you did not ask, but reasonably right, it will take 2 to 3 hours time to share it. All right, fine.
Recording stopped.